Dear student, hello everyone. Welcome to the computer-aided manufacturing class. Today, we will discuss the automatic programming of boring, turning. First, let's learn about creating the basic turning environment. Open the model file. Click Machining to enter the basic turning environment. Create a turning machining coordinate system. Create a turning geometry. Specify the blank boundary and create a drill, an inner hole rough machining turning tool, and an inner hole finish machining turning tool. For the specific method, refer to the micro video creation of turning basic environment, turning automatic programming. Next, we perform the drilling operation. Select the center line drilling button in Create Process and adjust the following parameters in this panel. Select the 14 drill, that is, Drilling Tool 14. Click Non-Cutting Movement in More. Select Approach in the Non-Cutting Movement interface and select Direct. Click Specify Point. Input the point and set the coordinates. Select Leave in Non-Cutting Movement. Select the motion type in Leave. Click Specify Point. Input the point and set the coordinates. Set the feed rate and speed. The spindle speed is 200. The cutting feed rate is 80. Click OK and click Generate. Then, we perform rough boring of the inner diameter. Create Process. Select Turning for the type. Select Inner diameter rough boring for the process subtype. Select one-way linear cutting in the cutting strategy. Modify the depth to 1 mm and set the cutting area and perform the following operations. Select Direct in the approach in non-cutting movement. Input the point and set the coordinates. Select Axial, Radial in the leaf in non-cutting movement. Input the point and set the coordinates. Set the feed rate and speed. The spindle speed is 500. The cutting feed rate is 250. Click OK and click Generate. Finally, we perform Finish boring of the inner diameter. Create Process. Select Turning for the type. Select Inner diameter finish boring for the process subtype. Select Full finish machining in the cutting strategy. Modify the depth to 0.5 mm and set the cutting area. And perform the following operations. Click Non-Cutting Movement in More. Select Approach in the Non-Cutting Movement interface and select Direct. Click Specify Point. Input the point and set the coordinates. Select Leave in Non-Cutting Movement. Select the motion type in Leave. Click Specify Point. Input the point and set the coordinates. Set the spindle rotation speed and feed rate. Click Feed rate and speed in More. In the feed rate and speed interface, select RPM in the output mode of spindle speed. Check spindle speed and fill in the speed value, and fill in the feed rate value. In this class, we have understood 1. Creating a drilling process. 2. Creating an inner diameter rough turning process. 3. Creating an inner diameter finish turning process. Thank you all.
Hello, class. Welcome to the Computer-Aided Manufacturing course. In this lesson, we are going to learn about turning boring. Turning boring is divided into drilling, inner diameter rough boring and inner diameter fine boring. Now let's draw a circle first. Close this page first. Let's build a circle. Then draw another part. Drill a hole in the middle. Click Hole. Select this face. At this point, just use this. We use this Boolean. It's this. Our front hole will be finished. Click Processing. We choose Turning here. Enter the processing environment. Enter the machining environment of turning. Let's draw the map. Let's look over here. Open the Model tool, click Processing, enter that basic turning environment. Create turning coordinate system, create turning geometry. Specify the blank boundary. Create a drill knife. Rough turning tool for inner hole. And finish turning tool with inner hole. Specific methods. We have it here. Then come and adjust. Let's create processing first. We have entered the processing environment. This piece. This geometry. Geometry preview. This is to create a tool. We're going to create 3 knives. Drilling and boring. Create a drilling tool. Let's follow this. The second one. Board. Rename. This knife is the same as that. 15. Continue to create rough and fine boring tools. Let's create these 2 knives first. Just use the lathe tool. Here. We'll use this knife. Here's -1. Change to the one just now. There is not much difference between the knives. Used in fine boring and rough boring. Create another fine boring tool. ID creation error. This is a rough boring tool. Let's create a fine boring tool. Create an operation. Drill holes first. Back to drilling. Create an operation. Select the centerline drilling button in the creation process and make parameter adjustment in this panel. Select 14 drill knives. We just had the same drill. When we set it up, this is drilling. Select this drilling hole just now. This is the only tool. Set this with geometry. We choose this. Let's correct the coordinate system. Use the coordinate system here. Then the settings are unchanged. Click non-cutting movement. Approaching. Non-cutting movement. Specify. Let's specify this point first. And specify this point. This knife. And this direction. We just set 100. Then set a non-cutting movement in this respect. This is approaching. We choose. Close. This choice is direct. Make sure first. Choose direct here. We can also fill it out ourselves. We chose this point. Stay away. About this point will do. When it leaves, Tool path goes here. Approaching. Leave. Generate tool path. Designated point. Specify coordinates we just specified. Then leave. Access road. Choose one of these when you leave. Leave to this point. This choice is direct. It is also direct. Click OK. Set spindle parameters. This is 200 to 80. Click OK. Look at the tool path. Return point must be specified. We didn't specify that point. We specify a point. The one just created is gone. Let's start again. Okay, let's move on. Designated point. Move. Specify. Also specify this point. Directly. Choose Direct. Click OK. Let's continue. Leave. Leave here. Choose Direct here. Click OK. Return. Point must be specified. The specified point must be returned. Which point is not set? The rotating shafts are set at 280. Another ball. Specify this. There are 2 here. The drilling is over. Let's bore the inside diameter. We have finished drawing knives. Rough boring of inner diameter. Create an operation. The 4th in the 2nd row. We have to choose the number 1 tool we created. The ID is this. Click OK. Let's see, it's this. Unidirectional linear cutting. Change the depth to 1. Instead of unidirectional linear cutting, depth. Change it to 1. Let's move on. Then you have to specify a point here. It is called cutting range. Let's specify a cutting range first. Designated point. Click OK. The cutting coordinate system is not set. Go on. In the non-cutting moving approximation, choose directly input point. Set the coordinates directly input point. Approach it. Into the cutting parameters, approaching. This is the 2nd one. Approach it. Set this point. Approaching it. This point. Forget the rest. Leave the inside and choose axial to mirror. Also choose a point. We also used that point just now. Similarly, also choose this point. Click OK. We also have to choose here. Anyway, it's right to choose this point. Follow me. I need this anyway. Click OK. Then choose this point. Click this to confirm. Next, we set the cutting parameters. Here, the cutting parameters are set first. 500,250. Turn this off. 500,250. Click OK. Can it be generated? Select Geometry. Choose this. This inner diameter is rough boring. We're done. Let's do inner diameter fine boring now. It's also this step. Similarly, create an operation. First in the 3rd row. And then we also do this step. Select all to be finished. It's also finish all. select the cutter. Click OK. We have chosen this one. Let's use this. Go back to the geometry. We just need to remember who we are. Forget this. Set boundaries. Selection point. Choose this point. Click OK. Order this. All fine. The others are in this direction. Non-cutting movement. Approaching. Similarly, choose directly. Approaching. We choose this point. Leave. We choose axis to mirror. Also choose this point. Will prompt us to choose another place. Setting of cutting parameters. We've already done this. We now look at the cutting parameters. Here, 800,250 because the spindle speed of fine boring is higher than that of rough boring, so as to ensure that we don't have to worry about this yet. Just click OK. The lecture hall of this class has been fully introduced. Students are welcome to criticize and correct me. Thank you all.